What's happening? This is Andy coming to you from here at the Daily Funk Club headquarters. And today's another real exciting day. I just got some more incredible equipment from Phil Jones Bass. Now, some of you might have seen the videos that I did a couple weeks ago with the Super Fightcase combo. And I actually sent that one back and kind of traded it up for a red version of it and a matching cabinet that goes with it. It's an extension cabinet that has 6 additional drivers and it's powered. It has an additional 250 watts RMS built into the bottom cabinet. So now I've got the whole stack going, and this is going to be great because this weekend I have some gigs, some outdoor gigs, and I wanted something that's got a little bit more oomph, simply because some of the music that I play is really loud rock music, you know what I mean? And I play real hard and need to be able to get real loud. I could tell you that the Super Fightcase would do a lot of the gigs that I find myself on, a lot of the club dates and things like that. It would be all right, you know, it would do that job. But having the extension one, or the additional extension speaker cabinet, powered extension speaker, really now enables me to do just about any gig that I have in terms of volume capabilities. But, you know, in terms of the sound, okay, you know, we have different approaches, different ways of engineering bass amps. And the thing that makes Phil Jones Bass different than what everybody else is doing is that they use a lot of little speakers as opposed to a couple of bigger speakers. So the Super Fightcase has 6 5-inch drivers in it, and so does the extension cabinet. So now I have a total of 12 5-inch drivers. So right now I've got my USA Jazz, my G&L USAG&LJBBass model, and I'm just going to play a little bit for you, give you an idea what it sounds like. I think this is a good instrument for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's red and it matches the amp so cool. And secondly, it's a passive instrument. It hasn't had any modifications. It's got the stock G&L pickups in it and the stock typical jazz bass electronic setup in it. So that's with both pickups on full blast and the tone all the way up. Now we'll go to just the back pickup. So one of the things that I'm going to mention here that's really important to know about Phil Jones Bass and the kind of the concept that he's going for is that it's a very transparent sound. You hear the sound of your hands and you hear the sound of the instrument. It's not a colored sound. Some amplifiers have a sound of their own, and that combined with a certain instrument create a classic sound. Ampeg, for example. An Ampeg sounds like an Ampeg. Phil Jones bass amps, in my experience so far, they sound very transparent. They sound like the instrument, and they sound like the kind of character that I'm trying to get from my hands. We all know that, you know, hey, I think 90% of it comes from the player. The instrument and the amp and everything like that, they're tools to get that, to make what we're doing louder. But, you know, we all know it comes from the player. So it's a very transparent amp. Okay, now we'll hear what it sounds like with just the front pickup. So I dig it. I really enjoy playing through this, and I cannot wait to take it out on some gigs this weekend and hear how it does with my band, my rock and blues band that I'm playing with this weekend. The speakers handle my aggressive technique very, very well. It was one of my biggest concerns, and I think that's a biggest concern for a lot of people. They see little speakers and they get like shell shocked. They think, that's not going to be able to dole out the low end. That's not going to move any air. That's not going to rock hard enough for me. This amplifier and this technology that Phil Jones has worked very hard to develop is kind of killing that myth. It's kind of stopping it in its tracks. I got it on the back pickup again here. Alright, I'm getting a little carried away. I could sit here and play all day. But for sure, I encourage you to check out Phil Jones Bass and, you know, reach out to Phil. You know, he's a very approachable guy. He's cool. He's a mad scientist, and he's very there to offer a lot of answers to consumer questions. You know, he's not one of these kind of invisible brand owner kind of people. He's very visible, and he's very appreciative to everybody that plays his rigs. And as you can see by the long list of players who use his equipment, it's very good stuff, and they all speak highly of it. In fact, that's how I came to check him out in the first place, was through some of my close friends whom I admire, you know, big time in their playing, who are Phil Jones artists, and they kind of said, hey, have you checked it out? You really ought to. So when I was at the NAMM show, I did, and at that time I met Phil, and we became friends, so here we are. All right, friends, I'm going to go now. I'll see you next time. Rock on.